Okay, hi everyone, it's Ashan's Learning Studio, and as I have promised, from this Wednesday onwards, every Wednesday 6:30 p.m., we are going to have a brand new series, and I have named it Lit Talks. What is it? All of us know that literature is a mirror of the society. So literature is affected by the society. In other words, literature is born out of the experiences of the society. Poems, essays, dramas, or any other form of creation is from the society, it is from within the society. But the question is, this literature that is born out of the society, does it really go back to the society? So if we try to see a circle, there is a beginning of the literature, it comes from the society and we produce them, but does it go back to the society? Does the society gain the experience from this literature? So the lit talks will be talking about, or we will try to fix or to bridge somehow this gap. So in the following series of videos, I would like to give you certain methodology that we will follow. So number one, now I have told what we are going to do in the coming weeks to come, coming months to come. So what we will do is basically, first we will dive deep into this literature, a piece of literature per day. We will dive deep into this piece of literature and see what the background is. What is the background of the writer? What is the background of the society that was behind this piece of literature? Be it a drama, be it a poem. Any piece of literature has a background story. So we will be dealing, or we will be searching for this background story. And then this will be pretty, it will be a bit more detailed. The next step would actually be a bit of detailed account of a philosophical and ideological background. What was the idea of the writer when he wrote this? Or what were the factors that affected his writing? Maybe his personal factors, from the family maybe, or from the society itself. Also, sometimes when we see pieces of literature, it's also the world politics. The political scenario of the world have been affecting these writers. And then I would try to give, from my point of view, what is the sociological effect of these literature pieces, works of literature. Then we will get into the reading of this poem, or the drama, or the piece of the play, or the selected piece of literature. And then finally we will try to discuss, after we dealt in detail, from my perspective, what is the socio-political effect on the person after reading this literature. I would like to draw your attention and my attention to the personal effect that each of these literature pieces have on us. So it will be like we will be doing the background, then I will come to the philosophical discussion of the piece of literature. Then we will read the literature piece, be it a poem, be it a part of a drama, whatever. Maybe it's a part of an essay. So finally what we would like to do is to see how these pieces can affect our personal life. So lit talks is not that I talk and you listen. Go to the comment section, comment on the discussion that I am going to have with you. Also, you can suggest some pieces of literature which I can review in the further videos, or else you can message me personally and tell, okay, let's have this discussion this week and you said something like this in the previous video, I don't agree with that. You may have your own ideological, philosophical arguments. I'm open for all that. And then the who part, whom am I going to address? Oh, and then I would like to discuss who is this for. It is for any literature lover. Also for people who are studying literature as a subject for maybe O levels or A levels, or anybody in general who would like to have the taste of literature. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be fun, because literature, as I told you, is from the society. So we will see a lot of familiar faces, a lot of familiarities in these texts. I focus only on English literature. So I don't deny the fact that there are also other sorts of other languages, but my expertise lies in English literature, so I will focus more on English literature. Okay, I have given you the introduction. So the first piece of literature, the first video, is going to be about something very personal to us. I thought of starting it with more vigor, more passion. No? So the first piece of literature that we are going to discuss is Goodmorrow, Good Morning by John Donne. John Donne is a metaphysical poet. Now, what do you mean by metaphysics? Those of you who are new to the field of literature and philosophy will wonder what is metaphysics. But people who are already studying philosophy will know. Metaphysics is after physics. Meta, the word meta in Latin is after or beyond. So metaphysics is beyond physics, beyond after physics. What is physics? Physics talk about tangible realities, things that you can touch and see and feel. But metaphysics talk about realities that you can't see but you experience them. For example, love, hatred. You can't see them, you can't touch love and say, this is love. But you can feel it within yourself. Hatred. You can't see it, but you can feel it. So these metaphysical poets, John Donne and his crew of writers, wrote about things that people think to be beyond physics, or actually things that are beyond physics. So in his poem Goodmorrow, Donne tries to explain to us, or Donne tries to explore with us, with the reader, the ecstasy of love. The ecstasy of love. He says, like, I will dive deep into the literature later on, piece of literature later on. He tells that after being given the yes from his girlfriend, he feels like it is in the morning. He was in his sleep, in his slumber. He was awakened from this slumber by that yes from his beloved. So let's see what Donne has written. I will read it for you. The Goodmorrow by John Donne. I wonder by my troth what thou and I did till we'd love. So he says, what did we do till we fall in love? Where were we? We also feel that, no? Like you meet your beloved after some time, after a long time, or maybe for the first time, you feel like, where were you all this time? Where was I all this time? So he also asks the same question. Were we not weaned till then? but sucked on country pleasures childishly. So we were doing our own businesses. We were playing. We were living our own life till we met. I didn't know that you were there, and you didn't know that I was here. So till we met, till the time we came to know each other, it was all childish dreams that we were living. We were living our country life. We were living our life with our family, friends, and all the other stuff. Till I met you. Or snorted we in the seven sleepers' den. Now, there is a reference to seven sleepers' den. Okay, now about the seven sleepers. Why did John Donne actually refer to these sleepers? Now, there is a legend about these sleepers. They are also connected to Christianity, the legend. Also, there is a mention about this in Quran. The 18th surah, there is this called a surah of the cave. This took place roughly around 250. Some call CE, Common Era. Some call BC. AD, Anno Domini. Now, I will discuss about this the hearing afterwards. So there were seven young men who fell into a miraculous sleep at Ephesus in a cave to prevent themselves from being forced for pagan worship. Pagan is anything other than Christianity. So there was a emperor who forced the Christians to worship the pagan god. So these seven men fell into a miraculous sleep. They fell into a long sleep, and they awoke during 408 to 450 Common Era, that is after Christ. So why does he refer to these seven sleepers? Donne wants to say that we were in a deep sleep. Our souls were in a deep sleep. So from this sleep, what does give us the morning is our love. When I met you, it was morning for me. When you met me, it was morning for you. So now again he goes on reading. It was so, but this all pleasures fancies be. If ever any beauty I did see, which I desired and got, was but a dream of thee. Now, you see, when the correct one comes to the life, when the proper one comes to the life, every other thing goes away. So he says, whatever pleasures that I have got, but whatever physical or spiritual pleasures I have got are second to you. They are merely a dream when I got you. Again here, when we talk about the philosophical aspect of it, it also talks about the dualism of body and soul. Now, this topic has been of discussion for a long time. People have tried to see how an intangible soul is dwelling within a tangible body. Now at the death, these two separates. So this Goodmorrow, the poem tries to seek a spiritual union between these souls. When the soul fall in love, it is true love. But once you search for the bodily love, that is lust. So love and lust has a very thin line. But here in Goodmorrow, John Donne tries to explain about the spiritual form of love. When I met you, it was the best feeling ever. When I saw you, when I fell in love with you heart to heart, it was all but morning. It was morning. It was light for me. So again, the difference between light and darkness, the argument between light and darkness is brought up here. Till I met you, till I fell in love with you, it was dark. I was in the darkness. But when I met you, when I saw you, when I fell in love with you, it is morning, it is light. The sun rose for me. You are my sun. We will go to the second stanza. And now, Goodmorrow, good morning to our waking souls. You see now, now we talk about I'm pushing more towards the Christianity because these poets are have a Christian background, and these poems have a Christian background. So in the Bible, when God creates, he says let there be light, let there be light, and there was light according to the Bible, the first chapter of Genesis. Here now he says, good morning to our waking souls. Our souls are awakening. You and I are awakening. So good morning to our souls. We were in darkness till you said that let there be light. I had light. When I said to your soul let there be light, you had light in your soul. So he says this love, the force of love, awakens our souls, which watch not one another out of fear, for love all love of other sides control, and makes one little room and everywhere. This is important. I will read it again. And now good morrow to our waking souls, which watch not one another out of fear, for love all love of other sides controls, and makes one little room and everywhere. You see here, now what he says is, when you have true love, when you love someone truly, there is no room for other things. Like there is no room for jealousy, there is no room for lust, there is no room for dishonesty. So he says, now we look at each other in love, through love, with love. There is no fear. Even if I lose you, even if you're far away from me bodily, I still love you. So here John Donne tries to bring about this perfect nature of love. So what we call the agape, self-sacrificing love. When you experience that love, there is nothing beyond that. Okay. And he says, now when two of them falls in love, they create a room for each other. They create a small corner for each other, and that is everywhere for them. That is the world for them. That's a universe for them. You see, this the feeling of love is able to transform a small corner of the world to the universe. A small corner of the world to the universe. The ones who are inside already satisfied, they are already satisfied. They don't want to go away from each other. They live a life together, soul to soul, loving each other fully, and that's the universe that John Donne is talking about. Let's say discoverers to new worlds have gone. Let the others discover what they want. Now here again, now this line, let's see discoverers to new worlds have gone. It shows how John Donne was affected by the times of that he lived. During his time, it was a time that people went for expedition. He lived in he was born in 1573 in London, so that's a time like these people like Christopher Columbus and all these people were going for expeditions. They were discovering new countries. So he says, John Donne says, let them go and find the countries they want. Let them go for sea journeys. Let maps to other worlds on the worlds have shown. Let us possess one world, each hath one and is one. Let them find the worlds that have been known before, that was not known before. Let them find the maps that they want. But let us, you and I, we will create our own world, and that is the one world that I need. You see, the last line is it is very beautiful how he sees the soul, how he looks at the soul. My face in thine eyes, my face in your eyes, thine in mine appears. So if we look at each other, yours in my eyes, your reflection is on my eyes, my reflection is on your eyes. So my soul's reflection is on your soul's reflection is on my soul. And true plain hearts do in the faces rest. Where can we find two better hemispheres? Now we know there are two hemispheres that come together to make the globe. So he says we are the two perfect hemispheres to our world, for our universe. We match perfectly. We match perfectly, and other than this, the rest is not bothered, and we don't care about what happens outside the world. I will come back to another point after I finish reading this one. Without sharp north, without declining west, whatever dies was not mixed equally. So, like, if we die, if something dies, that means something lacking in that. Like, if I die, it is like I can't live anymore because there is no breath in me. I lack breath. If our two loves be one, listen, if our two loves be one, O thou and I, love so alike that none do slacken, none can die. So if our love is equal, it is equally strong, our love can never die. None of us will die if our love is equally good, equally loving to each other. So, talking about this, John Donne's appreciation about love, John Donne's viewpoint of love, he has a very pure idea of love. So, taking back, now he was affected by the society and he had written a piece of literature. Now we try to decipher that and take back from the piece of literature. Now he talked about this pure form of love, two becoming one, and if those two are enough, there is no need for another person, another universe to come between these two. This is an invitation for all of us to look at our own selves. How far have I gone? How far have I been in understanding myself first? Number two, now here he talks about his beloved. It may be a lady. It also can be applied to the other realities of life, maybe to the nature, our parents, our partner, our children, our grandparents, anybody for that matter. If we try to see them with pure eyes, we love them fully to the maximum that we can, then there is a world created, a small corner. If you love a tree soul to soul, you don't destroy that tree. If you love a person soul to soul, you don't destroy that person. And that is the lacuna that we experience these days. So Donne gives us a point. He just throws a point. I'm not trying to preach here. I'm just trying to understand. I'm just trying to understand what Donne is telling. So it's open for all of us to identify what is my viewpoint of love. What is my viewpoint of passion? So in this week, you have enough and more time to think about. I have enough and more time to think about. And let's come to a conclusion. This is my definition of love. This is what I call love. So till we meet in the next video with another piece of literature, stay safe, think and think and think. See you in the next video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so, because there are a lot more good things to come in the future. Till we see you next week, stay safe.